Alright, hello, welcome. My name is Jason Welsh, and welcome to another workflow. Okay, now this is a little after I produced the Chapter 4 series about getting your character in game in the Blender game engine, and I was having some, difficulties weighting the actual creature. So, I took back and kind of looked at some of the buttons and what a good workflow would be to kind of weigh out a creature within Blender, and I came across a really good one, so I want to share that with you now. Okay, for right now, let me walk you through the park again and show you what I have. So I have a character, and his bones are now running through his fingertips, unlike the one. He has eyes now, so a couple just patches, fix-ups from the previous video where I just kind of threw him into the engine and made him wave. Okay, so the bones are not bound to him right now. So what I'm going to do is bind those bones by grabbing him, grabbing the bones, and then hitting Control P. And I'm going to use armature and then create from bone heat, just like I did before. But this time's a little different. So I'm going to leave this in pose mode, okay, and then highlight my mesh and go into weight paint mode. And this is where I'm going to show you this amazing thing. Just give me some real estate to move around in. Also, you might want outliner up here because I got this ground plane that I can tab between, and I can also toggle the armature. Okay, so this button is pretty important. Okay, so let's pick on a bone. Let's first go into solid where I can see everything without the texture getting in the way, and we'll pick on this region right here. Okay, as you can see, I got several meshes going on at once. I got his pants. I could probably cut this off in this area, but I'm not going to because there's a whole bunch of holes in his pants to see the fur through it. So I can't do that. I can't cut up the mesh anymore. Maybe in some areas, maybe right in this area I can cut it up, but that is besides the point. I should be able to just weigh the character very simply, and what I'm going to do is this bone right here is located right here in a vertex group. Okay, and vertex groups can be used to assign material and weights. Okay, now how to get to the vertexes. So if you hit tab and then go into vertexes, highlight a vertex, and then hit L on the keyboard, that will add that part or select that part. Okay, now all you do is have to hit assign, okay, and then go back to tab, and now you can see that is perfectly weighted towards that bone. Now here's one other thing though, you got to look around to see if it's highlighted on any other bone. See how this bone also has influence on it. This one does not, this one does. So you have to kind of look through these and hit tab and go in here and remove it from this bone. And now when I go to rotate this, it should rotate true. Okay. Okay, now another thing, just like I did in the last video. Let's say I want to set a key in pose mode. So let's go back out to pose mode. And that's the fun part. You got to go to object mode, and then you highlight this one bone and hit A twice. And then down here on my timeline, and that's gotten by going in here and going to timeline, you hit I on the keyboard and do a location, rotate, and scale on it. And that way when I go in here and just mess around, I'm not too worried about, grabbing the wrong thing, moving it around, never be able to get back to my bind pose. So now I can quickly rotate this bone right here and see that, well, I got some other problems here. I got some clothes that aren't going with it, and I got some, some of this armor that isn't going with it. Okay, so let me show you another example of this. Tab back, there we go. Okay, so now what I can do is go down here to my timeline and it quickly resets it. So how about these pants? These pants would be difficult for anybody, pro or whatnot. So what I'm going to do here is go to tab, highlight a single vertex, and hit L. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I just want to see the pants. So let's go select inverse, and then go down here to this menu where I have the hide button. Now I'm only dealing with these pants alone. Okay, now what I can do is toggle this off. This is my occlude back property, so that allows me to select all the way through the mesh. Notice with this on, I can't see the back of the back faces. So with it off, I can actually highlight all the way through the mesh again. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is select by holding Control and lassoing select some of these vertices just like that, and do that over here just like that. And now what I'm going to do is just assign those to the bone. Okay, just like that. So now when I go back into tab mode and rotate that around, it should rotate true and the close should follow. Now see how it's not doing that though. That's telling me that the clothes are actually attached to something else. So I'm going to have to go through each and every one of these and see what is being influenced here. And I can quickly find that over on this bone, somehow those pants got locked on there. So while it's in pose mode, I can tab over and remove those from that group. Now, a little bit less problems. Okay. And I'm just going to quickly go through each and every bone and see, is there anything that else has influence? Right there, there's another one. So tab, remove, tab, and then I'm starting to get the results I want. Okay, so that's my workflow. Pretty sweet, huh? It's a different animal altogether. So here's reveal if you want to do that. Okay, highlight this bone, go into here, hit L, go into this, let's assign it to that bone, go back to pose mode. Does that look better? Yes, it does. Okay, if I want to get back to my bind pose, quickly go in like that. Alright, so that's my workflow. Just wanted to share it with you. And again, my name is Jason Welsh. Have a good one. Hope that helps you ZBrushians that have lots and lots of parts to kind of glue to a model.